What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a brand new edition of Holding Court here on the First Day Hoops Report. On the First Day Hoops Report YouTube channel is what I'm trying to say. I am First Day Hoops Report founding editor and Holding Court host Chris Stevens. Hopefully, you all are doing well this dreary Sunday morning. I actually meant to record this Saturday night, but I got kind of busy cutting highlights and different things from the two games I was at, of course, which was the Sanford Delaware doubleheader. But once again, I want to thank y'all for checking out the channel. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell below so you can be notified of all new content that drops on this channel, which includes episodes of Holding Court, video highlights of games, and different things that I'm working on throughout the course of a basketball season. And thank you all once again for tuning in. So this week, not much to really, well, actually, there's a little bit of everything to discuss, but as far as the game of the week is happening later on today at St. Elizabeth's at 2:30 as St. Elizabeth hosts Salesianum. Sal's, of course, was at Malvern Prep last night and won 64-58. Got a little bit of everything. Kareem Thomas led with 18 points, but then you had Isaiah Henson, R.J. Johnson, Justin Hines in double figures. The usual suspects, So the only question is, and I talked about this on the last episode of Holding Court, is that I really think these games of these instances of kids playing back-to-backs, it wears on them eventually. It really does. And I mean, maybe because I'm not an athlete. I mean, I played, I guess maybe 10 minutes of varsity high school football back at Howard High School Technology way back when. But, I do worry about these kids a lot. And I mean, and they're probably listening to this and they're probably like, oh, don't worry about us. We're fine. But yeah, the body will tell you when you need to rest. And if you don't listen, it will make you rest. But these, again, they're athletes. They're young. They're 16 years old, hype off the NBA young boy and whoever else they listen to, Key Glock. I don't know who these kids listen to these days. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm really just going to date myself. The music I listen to, I stay in the 70s and 80s. I'm not even going to lie to y'all. In fact, I really should have drank some water before I got on here this morning. I literally just got out of bed. That's why, I got this little rasp in my voice because I'm literally just waking up because I want to get up. Told myself I was going to get up, record Holding Court, go for a walk, catch my breath, then head over to St. A. But yeah, the music I listen to is in the 70s and 80s lane. I love talking about music. Maybe, I'll start, getting into some more about what I do outside of basketball. I do have, do I want to tell you? Yeah, I do have a YouTube channel. I have a personal YouTube channel where I talk about my life as a writer, the music that I listen to, daily, just the stuff of, outside of, what I do at First Day Hoops Report. But yeah, I don't know what these kids listen to, but I know they hype, they're ready to ball and it's going to be fun. Today's game is going to be fun, I feel like, because this is a chance. Yes, it's going to be a team coming off of on the same game of a back-to-back. But, yeah, this is St. E's chance to prove that they are one of the top two teams in the state. I have them as number one. News Journal has them as number two. So, and about the rankings, before I go any further, again, the people who are getting upset about these rankings really just need to cool out. Like, there are people, the kids, I don't mind because, the kids are always going to have something to say. It's what they do. They always, especially if they're playing, because they believe in themselves. They believe in their teammates. They believe in their schools. They're like, we should be higher. I don't mind the kids talking. It's the adults that talk crazy. Like, I'm not even going to lie. I deleted one comment last night. While I was in Sanford, because one dude was like, you really need to delete this because it'll show you have no credibility. And I'm like, who are you? Literally, I've been doing this for 20 years. You want to talk about somebody's credibility, and you just became an AAU coach like 15 minutes ago. Stay in your lane, and I'll stay in mine. And that's all I got for that. That's all I'm going to address that particular person. Stay in your lane. Do what you do, even though I don't know what you do because I didn't even know you were an AAU coach until I went to your feed, and I'm like, oh, I've never seen you around, but okay, whatever. Anyway, yeah, the rankings. People tend to get really bent out of shape about that, which I don't understand because, again, everything is settled on the court. Like, for instance, yesterday. I'll just lead into that. And it's good that I'm able, some folks are able to take it lightly, with a grain of salt because Marcus Thompson was in a joking mood yesterday after Sanford girls defeated Dover 69-40. He was like, "I've been waiting on you," and I'm looking around like DJ Academics when the Migos was ready to fight at the BET after show. I mean, you all know the meme with dude is just like, tapping the microphone, looking around, looking kind of nervous. I was tapping on my monopod when Coach Thompson was talking, but yeah, afterwards we had a really good conversation about who Sanford played and everything, and I was like, I didn't know y'all were playing like the PAs of the PAs. He was like, the teams we played are combined 44-11. I was like, yeah, okay, I missed the boat on that one. So yeah, I can admit I missed having Sanford outside of my top 10 this week. Big mistake on my part. They are still very much a very good team. One thing I did like about Sanford is the fact that they're playing young kids. Tyler Edwards is the only senior on the entire roster. Not, just like not the only senior starting, not the only senior that contributes, the only senior, period. So basically 99.9% of that team is coming back in 2025. I mean, you've got Jada Snow. She's doing a little bit more of the ball handling, which is her trademark outside of, the high school confines, the AAU thing. Naomi Allen has become a really good defensive player. She had the tall task of Salesianum Benson, one of the best post players that no one knows about because she plays at Dover, but she's really good. Naomi held her to 4 points yesterday. And Ellie Carter-Soriano, who transferred from Ursuline, can make, the open shot. She hit 3 3-pointers in the first half, finished with 15 points. Just a junior. So this Sanford team is going to get better as the season progresses and, and probably be considered a title contender again next year. But, they're a young team. Marcus said they're going to have Coach Thompson said they're going to have some learning pains, and I get it. But, they may sneak up on people this year, which is funny to say about a defending state champion. But yes, they very well could sneak up on people this year. Absolutely. Like I said, Dover, I like their team though. Coach Jahi Davenport has done a really good job with that squad. They were 7-0 coming into Saturday's game. And yeah, it's Sanford. What do you expect? You're not gonna, just walk into Sanford and, just come out with a win. They probably expected to, which is good for their confidence. And they didn't play poorly at all. They did not play bad at all. They just couldn't make a shot in some respects. And that some of that is due to Sanford's defense. Some of it is just just have a bad shooting day. But Benson, Ashton Torbert, freshman guard Amani Sugler, watch out for her. She's a lightning bolt. Like, she just came off that bench and just made a ton of stuff happen. And the Milstead twins, they provide size. Shouts out to Rod Milstead, former Del State football coach, who probably should still be Delaware State's football coach. But, that's neither here nor there. And he's their father. And I was looking for Coach Milstead yesterday. I didn't see him, but I'll probably see him at a game later on down the line. But yeah, that Dover team is good. Like, I feel like they can win the Henlopen North. They've already beaten Cape Henlopen. That's half the battle right there. Of course, they got to go down to Cape later on in the season, but to get a win against Cape is a really good start. And at 7-1, still got to watch out for Smyrna. Sussex Tech apparently is playing some really good ball, and it's interesting. You've got some interesting conference races that are outside of the norm, boys and girls. But yeah, I like Dover's team a lot. I feel like that's a team that, if they get a first round home game, they can definitely win it. And then after that, depending on how the brackets fall for buys, they could sneak into the quarterfinals. But that's a really good team regardless. There was a doubleheader at Sanford on Saturday. Of course, the Dover boys came up to play the Sanford boys. And I told y'all we were going to have Game of the Year candidates very, very shortly. And you got to put Dover and Sanford on the list very quickly. Sanford jumped out to an 8-0 lead. But to Stephen Wilson's credit, he didn't panic. I think, did he call it? Did he call the timeout? I can't recall if he called the timeout when he went on that 8. If he did, it was a 30-second. After that, he let his guys play. And, of course, when you have Darrell Little Jr., who's probably going to be first-team All-State, Denham Perkins, who really established himself as the best point guard in the state of Delaware yesterday. And then they just have, different guys that can come and contribute. Ice Norwood, the big fella, he finishes around the basket. Javion Dennis, the sophomore guard, who I liked last year as a freshman. When I saw him at the Sal's Icebreaker, I was like, that kid can shoot. And, of course, he makes 3 3-pointers in the fourth quarter, scores 13 points in the fourth quarter overall. Yeah, I really should have got a drink of water. Sorry, y'all. Scored a game high 22 points. He's tough. That Dover team is going to be really, really good. They're definitely the clubhouse leader for the Henlopen Championship. I mean, really have to see what happens with the South because I got to see Lake Forest. I'm going to make it my business to see Lake Forest. And driving down to Felton, it's a challenge. I'm not going to lie to y'all. It's a challenge. I mean, the farthest I usually go is Dover just in the interest of, keeping my car steady because my car needs some work, quite honestly. Nothing too serious, but you never know when something's just gonna, sometimes when in this world, when it rains, it pours, and you don't want to add to the rain. So, but yeah, I do plan to see Lake Forest at some point. Got to see Darius Miller, Jackson Starkey, Jameer Snell, that entire bunch. They're playing some really good basketball right now. So it's hard to say, if Dover's going to be challenged. I mean, the Henlopen North. I mean, like I said, CR's playing some really good basketball. Kate, I imagine we'll get it together very shortly. So Smyrna's playing good basketball as well. Sussex Central. Dover's the favorite right now, but there are some teams that could make it tough on them. And that's something that you really got to be mindful of, throughout this season. I mean, we've already seen that, this year in certain spots that not everything is what it seems. Like, for instance, Glasgow boys beat Howard on Thursday. And a lot of that is because Howard is missing RJ Matthews, who would have been their starting point guard this year. RJ is, in a boot right now. Hope we want to send our get well wishes to him. And this is just this is just me talking. I'm not a doctor. I'm not Rashawn Matthews Sr. I'm just saying that this young man has a bright future as a college football quarterback. And as much as Howard definitely needs him right now, I mean, they have the talent, but the talent is just super young. That Howard team is basically sophomores and juniors, which means they'll probably be a state championship contender next year. But this year might just be a year of growing pains because you don't want to rush RJ back out there if you are not, Final Four ready. I mean, Howard's made the last three Final Fours. No, last two, excuse me. Then a third would have been nice. And it's still not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, that young talent, like Nick Besa and Bryson Lane, they could all pull it together. Absolutely. I mean, Flight B is not settled yet, but it's just this is just me talking, just my personal opinion that I wouldn't rush RJ back. That's just me. And I don't think they are. I don't think Russ or RJ are going to rush back. And I understand that. But Glasgow, got to talk about Chris Laws, man. I mean, this was a man who coached at his alma mater the last 3 years, made 2 out of the last 3 state tournaments. Probably should have been 3, but for some strange reason, we talked about this when it happened, that strange little controversy where nobody could seem to figure out, what Polytech's opponent was, that ended up flipping the point standings. So, yeah, 2 out of 3 years in the state tournament at your alma mater is something to be proud of, but for some strange reason, it wasn't good enough for Delcastle. Delcastle's loss right now is Glasgow's game. Glasgow's 5-2. They are playing some really good basketball with Jasier Hamilton Robertson leading the way. And they just came off a stretch of 3 games in 3 days. They beat Howard on Thursday. They beat MOT Charter on Friday at the Friends thing, and Friends won. The Friends beat them yesterday. Good news is they have all the way through Friday off, where they'll play McCain at home. And yes, First Day Hoops Report will be in the building for that one. Trust and believe. That is a game we need to see because we need to see, who's real. And this is a good chance to see who really is going to be a contender in Flight B. I mean, Glasgow, you already got to get on the benefit of the doubt. They beat the 3-time, defending Flight B champion. And McCain won 2 games last year. 2 of them things. Right now, they're 8-1. I mean, math was not my strongest subject, but as far as I know, that's quadrupling your win total from a season ago. So Stephon Johnson's doing a wonderful job over there on McKinnon Church Road, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing McCain and Glasgow boys on Friday. It's going to be a packed week for me, actually. Let's see. Caravel St. E girls on Tuesday, and Sally's Penn boys on Tuesday. I'm not one to complain about schedules, but I was really looking forward to Sally's and Penn the next Saturday because it's supposed to be Saturday night, 7:30. They moved it to Tuesday at 7:30. So I am going to be rushing from St. E back over to the Triangle I mean, I'm not that far away. I mean, I literally live up the block from Sally, so I could park my car and just put my laptop, I mean, not my laptop, but my camera bag over my shoulder, just walk down the block and watch that game. But, I mean, hey, I'm really going to be up against it. Good thing I got battery and battery chargers. But, yeah, let's see. Wednesday, I'm trying to decide if I'm going to see Howard Concord boys or Howard Concord girls. And then, of course, Friday is McCain Glasgow boys. Thursday, I had to flip a coin because there's a lot going on Thursday. But, yeah, it's going to be a busy week. Good news is the next game I'll probably do is the AI Ursuline game on Martin Luther King Day. But, yeah, other than that, it's going to be a busy week. And I definitely wanted to touch base with you guys really quickly because I think I may go live. Once I get back from St. E's Salesianum today. I think that's what I'm going to do because I haven't had a chance to really, test out this StreamYard account of mine yet. Everything I do is recorded. Like I haven't, like the last live I did was the state, when the state tournament brackets were released. And that actually went off pretty well. I got great participation from coaches. I had Taylor Trevison from Sales. I had Aziz Ali from Middletown. Who else did I have? I had Curtis Clack from the Howard girls. I think was Coach Matthews on there? Shucks, I can't remember. Either way, it was a good live that we had a lot of participation on, and I should have done more lives. I'm telling you now, I am doing a bracket day live. So coaches, if your teams are making the tournament and I reach out to you, let it be known that Friday afternoon, whenever that bracket is released on February 20, what is that, 25th? I think it's February 20th. February 24th. Yes, February 24th. When those brackets are released, be known. Let it be known. First Day Hoops Report will be reaching out to you for a live stream. Well, Chris Stevens, that's me from First Day Hoops Report. We're reaching out for a live stream to discuss where you are on the bracket. How you feel. How you feel the bracket falls, and what you like about your team's chances going into the tournament. That's what we're going to do. Very much looking forward to that. Very much looking forward to helping set up the field as we do every year on the website with our 24 and more. I don't know if I'm going to call it a segment or a project, but y'all know what it is. 24 and more is where I write about every team's chances making the state tournament, up to date, what their record is, if they're safe, if they're on the bubble, what they need to do. And granted, the information that we have is spotty with a lot of these schools from out of state, because a lot of these schools from out of state are not really good at, updating their records in a timely fashion. So we have to be really mindful of that when we're, calculating these point indexes, because, one team 1 week, they're 5-0, but it's February 17th. And it's like, you've played more than 5 games up to this point, I would believe. So then you have another team that's like, one day they're 14-1, and then the next thing you know, you're penciling them in for 2 extra points for your team here in the state. You look up the next week, they're 14-5. Then you got to take a point away. It's like, oh my God, start all over again. So it's a complicated process, but very much looking forward to it. 24 and more will probably debut within the next 3 weeks, because we don't start until a month before the regular season ends. So the regular season ends February 22nd, I want to say. So yeah, February 22nd. So January 22nd. Well, yeah, doggone. Actually, that's 2 weeks, because today is January 7th. So yeah. So 2 weeks away, just about 2 weeks away, we'll start doing 24 and more, talking about who has the best chance to make the tournament, who uses in position for a bye, all of this good stuff. Very much looking forward to that, and very much want to thank y'all for tuning in to Holding Court. Like I said, this was going to be a short one this week because we went to a few games, saw a few interesting results, and we're getting ready for South St. E today. So I'm going to finish this up, load this to the YouTube channel, go for my walk, come back, see if I can squeeze a nap in, then head over to St. E. And if everything goes well, we'll go live after the game. So thank y'all for watching. Greatly appreciate y'all's time. All the information that you need to know, our social media handles, email address, websites, and donation link. Because once again, this costs money to run. So if you feel so compelled, you can drop some coins in the description below. Thank you all for watching. As always, until we talk later on today, possibly, take care of yourselves